everyone, Lee Honish. Welcome to the Honish Report. Yesterday, as you guys are well aware, we have a brand new president who just happens to be a guy who's in real estate. I'm not here to talk about the politics. I'm not here to talk about good or bad for our country. I'm here to specifically talk about what are the impacts to real estate with Trump as president. So, also, the National Association of Realtors had their giant expo in Orlando, Florida. So I am joined today, it'll again be a piece of my coaching call, but I'm joined today by David Bartels, owner of Home Loan Advocates. He's a broker out in the Conejo Valley, top 5% producer. David and I discuss the presidency, the interest rate, and what happened at the NAR Expo, what Lawrence Yun, the chief economist at NAR, said. All of those things this week specifically were the bulk of the questions that my coaching students had. I assumed all of you listening to this broadcast have the same questions. So for all of you, here it is, a big giant discussion about everything that goes on in your world. But before that, of course, as always, here's the commercial for the Monster Marketing System. Now is the best time ever to get involved in Monster Marketing, work in the world of defaulted properties. If you want to watch a video, just go to my website, honish.com, click on the link, and you can watch the most recent webinar that I've done. Learn how to get involved in listings that will never go away, right? People who miss payments are always going to be around. If you believe we're in a bubble or you believe we're not in a bubble, whatever the case, it's a great way to get listings and keep stimulating your business. And we actually guarantee that you will be getting appointments with the Monster Marketing System. So here's a commercial for the Monster Marketing System. And right after that, David Bartels of Home Loan Advocates and I will discuss Trump, the interest rate, NAR, Lawrence Yun, and give you guys a brief snapshot of what it's going to be like for the next couple of months for you here on the Honish Report. Again, as always, sign up, register so that you're getting downloads and listens. We appreciate everybody who listens. Now a word about the monster. Thanks for listening.
Are you a real estate agent, realtor, investor, or are you in the real estate business and you need new listings and deals? We have a solution for you, and that solution has guaranteed results. How much would you pay to get face-to-face with a homeowner that wants to sell their home? What if you also got their email address and daytime phone number? And what if this homeowner also scheduled you to come to their door at a set time to meet with you? Sound too good to be true? It isn't. And it is 100% guaranteed for you to meet face-to-face with a real homeowner who really needs to sell their home. Not only will you get this remarkable contact system and its 100% guarantee, at no additional charge, you will get weekly coaching, documents, and training on how to get that homeowner and convert them into a new listing. When you purchase, you'll also get a one-on-one walkthrough so that you can start using the system today. Visit www.thelistingmonster.com. That's www.thelistingmonster.com. Or call Diana Ortiz at 213-706-0040. Stop wasting time the old way. Use a monster and get actual results today.
Welcome to the Honish Report, hosted by Lee Honish. The Honish Report is a look at the real estate market and creating effective marketing plans for realtors or investors to get new listings and deals. Your host, Lee Honish, has over 20 years of experience in real estate, banking, and marketing. Over the last 6 years, Lee has developed cutting-edge marketing and was named one of the most innovative marketers in America. With over 1 million views, Lee continues to be an advocate for the entire real estate community. Enjoy today's show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to therapy. My name's Lee Honish. I don't know why everybody's taking this so hard, David. I'm really trying to understand. This ideally for real estate is good for real estate, isn't it?
I don't know. So I think that's the problem. Nobody knows.
I don't know if it's obvious what it's doing to the stock market.
I can tell you that, listen, I guess we're talking about Donald Trump being the new president.
Yeah, those are the questions today, by the way.
Put it this way, Trump is in the real estate business. and he's in, and so he's, I think he's going to be very pro real estate. Um, even though he's supposedly going to turn the running of his company over to his kids or somebody else to be able to do it, I don't think that he could separate his real estate and financial interests from being president of the United States. And I think that I think over time it's going to be very positive. I think that we're going to see less regulation. I think that we're going to see some loosening up of the regulations, and for the first time, he's the thing that struck me most about the whole thing is how much power he's going to have. That's the part that scares me, is how much power he has. Even though I've hated the deadlock, that we've had for as long as I can remember now. So he's got the Senate, he's got the Congress, and he's going to have the Supreme Court, and he's going to be able to. We're going to have some progress. I don't hope it's good. I don't know, but I think that it's going to be pro real estate in the end.
Okay, so since this appears to be the bulk of the questions we're getting today, let's address it. He's made it clear that he is not a fan of Dodd-Frank. So what is the implication of rolling back Dodd-Frank? What impact would that have on real estate?
Well, you remember, he's not a czar, okay? So he's not going to be able to just roll, this stuff back without, support of Congress in the end. And, when you take a look at Dodd-Frank, I think that you're going to see a less restrictive environment. I think more importantly, the CFPB is in trouble. I think that they're going to. I think they're going to really loosen up the guidelines, and they're going to let the free market kind of establish what it's supposed to do. So I think that you're going to see a lot of debate on the value of Dodd-Frank, and I think that you're going to see a lot of debate on matters related to just oversight and regulations that have caused the cost of buying a home to go up. Not only has it delayed the closing process by 5 to 15 days, depending on your process, but the cost of getting a mortgage of buying a house has gone up reportedly $4,000 since all this regulation. So I think that we're going to see some of that come into play. And I don't know all the finite details of Dodd-Frank and that kind of thing, but I think it's certain that all of these policies are going to get a good look, and they're going to retain some of the good stuff, and they're going to get rid of some of the restrictive stuff.
Okay. So I guess the big question is, does he have enough power when he walks into office to bring back no doc, low doc, spit and spackle? I mean, that's really what this is about, right? Making it just, you got a FICO score, let's really rev up the real estate market. And I wonder if that's what everybody fears. Donald's going to walk in and immediately allow banks to start lending money for whatever reasons they feel like.
Well, I don't think he has enough power to do that. And in the end, he just can't demand that the banks do that either. I think the banks are running a little shy. I mean, they just, even though they're doing very well now, they got their fannies kicked pretty good there the last few years, and now they're back and stronger than ever. And I think that they're showing some indication that they want to loosen up. I think what it depends on is it's less about what the individual banks are going to do rather than what Fannie and Freddie and FHA are going to do. So I think that you're going to see HUD requirements for FHA loans get a lot less restrictive. I think that you're going to see some programs to stimulate first-time home buyers. One of the things I learned at NAR was there are 40 million people in the United home buyer age, adults, 40 million people without a FICO score. So I think that we're going to see some programs that are designed for what we call these credit ghosts, to make it easier for them to do it, to allow rent payments and utility payments and those kind of things that they paid on time to help get them qualified for a mortgage. There were some statistics that show that that VA loans, which are primarily zero down loans, not always, but primarily zero down loans, are outperforming 20% down loans in terms of foreclosures. So the national foreclosure rate is running on 20% down loans is running about 4%, and zero down VA loans are running about 2%. So they're outperforming the market. So I think that you're going to see Republicans making an argument, where we can have a lower down payment. So I think that we're going to finally see some stimulation for the entry level buyer, the millennials that we've been waiting to really get active and are showing signs of getting active right now. But they're not going to be able to slow the interest rate climb. The interest rates are going to climb in 2017, but hopefully they're going to be offset with incentives and looser guidelines for people who just can't get the 20% down payment.
So this was the debate on Facebook that I started amongst our circle, right? Which was, which presidency does the Fed operate from as our friend Fred was pointing out on Facebook, he was saying that they worry about GDP. The Fed's going to look specifically at the GDP and what impact it will have and jobs, and they'll look at all the reports, and that's what they're going to base their decision on. My stance was that it's going to be politically based, and Trump has had a very strong word about the way the Fed operates. So it's not inconceivable to, everybody believes it's a 1/4 point jump, but is it inconceivable to believe that it would be more than a 1/4% jump come December?
No, I mean, listen, the Fed is supposed to run as an independent body. It's not supposed to be political, and so I think that why the government can apply pressure to the Fed in the end, their job is to be independent, and I think you're gonna see them do that. I think that they're going to act independent of the Fed, and Trump can't force yelling out. And I don't think that she's, I mean, he can make it not fun for her, but I don't think that she's necessarily going to go there. And I think they're going to just stick to their charter, and they're going to make the adjustments based on GDP and jobs. And right on last Thursday or Friday, I guess it was Friday, the jobs report came out, and we're down to 4.9% unemployment, it continues to improve, and hopefully we're going to see more jobs. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to understand what's going to happen next because there's been so much rhetoric and
right.
I mean, we just aren't going to know for many months. How this is going to shape up. And so, in my mind, we just got to be business as usual. And my feeling about life in general is not anticipating how the rules are going to change. Just tell me what the rules are so I can go out and play. And then if you change the rules, just tell me how the rules are going to change so I can just adjust my strategy to play within the rules. And that's really all we can do. But it's a mistake to stop playing while we sit on the sidelines and wait to see what happens. And this is a little coaching I'm doing right now. We need to go out there and work as hard as ever and be prepared for no matter what happens. And the only thing that I can tell you is rates are going to go up, rates are going to go down, and the markets are going to fluctuate. But we still got to go out and make a living, and our job is to help our clients interpret that data so that they can make the best decisions that they can make based on the information they have now. And none of us have a crystal ball, and Donald Trump is not going to be able to do a lot of the things that he said that he was going to do simply because he doesn't have he has the advantage in terms of having a Congress that's also Republican, but he doesn't have the authority, and it's going to take a while to really see how this plans out. And then even when they change the guidelines, it takes a while longer for anything to get implemented, if ever.
I agree. I think because there are, how do I describe this? If you look at social media, people are downright suicidal about this, at least in the real estate community. People who I think should be a little more...
50% are suicidal and 50% are jubilant.
Yes, right. I think realistically, yes, we see the rate go up. Yes, I don't believe we know how much that rate climb is going to be. What I find interesting about that is, let's say it's a 1/4 point to a 1/2 point over the course of next year, which is